Chapter 7. Now after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Seraiah, the son of Asariah, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Maraiot, the son of Zerachiah, the son of Utzi, the son of Bulki, the son of Abishua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was ready scribe in the law of Moses, which the Lord, the God of Israel, had given, and the king granted him all his request, according to the hand of the Lord his God upon him. And there went up some of the children of Israel, and of the priests, and the Levites, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nethinim, unto Jerusalem, in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For upon the 1st day of the 1st month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the 1st day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem, according to the good hand of his God upon him. For Ezra had set in his heart to seek the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach in Israel statutes and ordinances. Now this is the copy of the letter that King Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra the priest, the scribe, even the scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord, and his statutes in Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, and so forth. And now I make a decree that all they of the people of Israel, and their priests, and the Levites, in my realm, that are minded of their own free will to go with you to Jerusalem, go. For as much as you art sent of the king and his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem, according to the law of your God which is in your hand, and to carry the silver and gold which the king and his counselors have freely offered unto the God of Israel, whose habitation is in Jerusalem, and all the silver and gold that you shall find in all the province of Babylon, with the freewill offering of the people and of the priest, offering willingly for the house of their God which is in Jerusalem. Therefore you shall with all diligence buy with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their meal offerings and with their drink offerings. And you shall offer them upon the altar of the house of your God which is in Jerusalem. And whatsoever shall seem good to you and to your brethren to do with the rest of the silver and the gold, that do you after the will of your God. And the vessels that are given you for the service of the house of your God, deliver you before the God of Jerusalem. And whatsoever more shall be needful for the house of your God, which you shall have occasion to bestow, bestow it out of the king's treasure house. And I, even I, Artaxerxes the king, do make a decree to all the treasurers that are beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, shall require of you, it be done with all diligence, unto 100 talents of silver, and to 100 measures of wheat, and unto 100 baths of wine, and to 100 baths of oil, and salt without prescribing how much. Whatsoever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it be done exactly for the house of the God of heaven. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? Also we announce to you that touching any of the priests and the Levites, the singers, porters, Nethinim, or servants of the house of God, it shall not be lawful to impose tribute, impost, or a toll upon them. And you, Ezra, after the wisdom of your God that is in your hand, appoint magistrates and judges, who may judge all the people that are beyond the river, all such as know the laws of your God, and teach you him that knoweth them not. And whosoever will not do the law of your God, and the law of the king, let judgment be executed upon him with all diligence, whether it be unto death, or to banishment, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. Blessed be the Lord, the God of our fathers, who hath put such a thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem, and hath extended mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty princes. And I was strengthened according to the hand of the Lord my God upon me, and I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. And the last chapter, Darius had got the letter that the Tatnai had sent to inquire, and Darius had made a decree, and they had searched the works there, and they had found the decree that Cyrus was the great king of Persia. He is the one who had made the decree to rebuild the house of God. And we'll find out Darius sends Tatnai packing back to the house, so to speak, to leave these guys alone and let them do the work of God. Let them build the house of God. And matter of fact, Darius goes ahead and makes a decree, and they're going to pay tribute. And we'll find out this is much the same thing that's going to happen when Artaxerxes is going to now send back. But we'll find out they also have finished building the house of God. They dedicated the house of God, and it was finished. And it would be just shortly after this period of time that we would pick it up right here in verse 1. Now after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes, he's king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Seraiah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah. And it was just shortly thereafter these things, during this reign of Artaxerxes. Artaxerxes means I will stir up that which is boiling, and the purpose would be to cool it off. He would be the king of Persia. He is this king of splendor. Ezra now, Ezra is the one the book's named after. Ezra means to strengthen, to support, to be supported, or to be strengthened. He's the one to come forth of Seraiah, or he would be the son of Seraiah, this one who would be carrying the seeds. Seraiah are those that are ruled of God, the ones that come forth from the supported of God, Azariah. He is the one that come forth from Hilkiah, and that was that portion of God, too. The son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and this would be the one who come forth from Shallum, that one who's carrying the seed. It would be that just reward. Even this one who would come forth from Zadok, and Zadok are the righteous, the justice even, the one that comes forth from Ahitub, and Ahitub is this brother of goodness. He would be 3, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Meraiah, and this would be that one that come forth from Amariah. Amariah is this that was promised of God, that which was promised of God. He would be the one that come forth from Azariah, and Azariah is that, once again, supported of God. Asar is to be supported or to be helped of God. The sons of Meraiah, and these would be those ones that come forth from those rebellion, even those rebellious ones that rebelled. For the son of Zeraiah, and the son of Zeraiah, the son of Utzi, the son of Buki, the son of Zeraiah. We remember Zerachiah. These would be that was just shining forth of God. Those things that was shining forth of God. He was the one that come forth from the strengths, those strengths being many strengths. This one that come forth of Buki. That was which was wasted, that which was emptied out or poured out even before. The son of Abishua, the ones even that come forth from Abishua. Abishua is the father even of much, this father of wealth, the father of generosity. He is the son of Phinehas, this one who come forth of Phinehas. Phinehas is the mouth of brass, or that which was poured out of cold darkness. Eleazar, the son, Phinehas would be the son of Eleazar, even this one that come forth from the mighty one, or the one the mighty one had supported. He would be the son of Aaron. Aaron is the light giver. Aaron means light giver. He would be the chief priest. even in the beginning. 6. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was ready scribe in the law of Moses, which the Lord the God of Israel had given, and the king granted him all his requests according to the hand of the Lord, his God upon him. Then Ezra, this supported one, or this one who supports, went up from Babylon. That's that place of confusion, and he was a ready scribe in the law of Moses. And a scribe is one who records it, and sets it down or recounts it, makes it known. In the law of Moses, and this was those laws that went forth from Moses in the beginning. Even now, Moses was the man of God. Moses was the one who was drawn out. We'll find out. God saved him even in the beginning and gave him understanding even then to bring his people up out of Egypt. That's that place of traps and pits, and that's what Moses did. He gave the law which God gave him, which the Lord the God of Israel had given, and that's God give law. Moses listened to God. We'll find out, see that God had already put it in Moses' heart from the day he was born, and God had already wrote it there. And the king granted this request according to the hand of the Lord, his God, upon him, that he's going to send Ezra back up to Jerusalem. 7. And there went up some of the children of Israel, and of the priests, the Levites, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nethinim, unto Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And there did go up some of the children, and this is going to be some more people coming up out of captivity. Ezra's going to bring them up out of captivity with him. They're going to come with him up out of captivity, I should say. These children of Israel, that's those that contend with the Mighty One. And the priests were among them still. The priests are those that stood before God, and the Levites, those that joined them. These singers, we remember them. They were the sons of Asaph, the gatherer. And the porters, those that kept the gates, that's the places where they go in and out. And the Nethinim. These Nethinim are a plural word for those that means given. Nethinim or Nathan is to give, and this is the plural of given, or that which was gave, or past tense we could even use it as. These are the servants in the temple. These are the ones Solomon set there to serve God. It would be actually probably make somebody mad, but it's not going to be according to the law of God. That these should be slaves in the temple, because you serve God with free will. And I believe that is the overall understanding of it, and to force someone to serve God would be unlawful. These were those that went up to Jerusalem. Nevertheless, in the 7th year, and it would be to accomplish the greater understandings even of Artaxerxes, who was the king at that time. And Artaxerxes is that one who stirs it up, because it's boiling, to cool it off. 8. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. And Ezra, he's the one we're talking about here. He would come to Jerusalem. That's that place of peaceful teachings in the 5th month. A fifth is a portion. A month, even a portion of a month. It would be, a month is a portion of a greater understanding in a year. A month is a period of the moon. I say this often because a lot of people just catch one chapter here and there. The 5th month is a portion of a greater understanding, and 5 means grace. And this would even be the portion of grace in the lesser light, that which God gave to rule over the darkness in the beginning. And it would be the 7th year of the king, and that's Artaxerxes, the one we're talking about here. The 7th year of his reign. And that would be to accomplish the greater understandings. 9. For upon the first day of the first month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the first day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem, according to the good hand of his God upon him. And it would be on the first day, and first, that's the beginning of understanding, see, even of that beginning of the lesser light, that God give to rule over the darkness, began he to go up from Babylon, and that's out of confusion. And on the first day of the 5th month, and that would be the beginning of the understanding of this portion of grace that was in the lesser light, came he to Jerusalem, and that would be that place of peaceful teachings. And it was according to the good hand. See, that the blessings, that's the good hand, that's the good works of God, that blessing that comes out of the law. That was upon him. 10. For Ezra had set his heart to seek the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach in Israel statutes and ordinances. And Ezra, he was this one who was supported. He had set his heart, all his understandings. He was seeking the law of the Lord, and to do it. So he was keeping the law of God and seeking the law of God and all the understanding that comes from God, to do it as well and to teach it in Israel. That's that place where they contend with the Mighty One. These statutes and these ordinances, that which they don't do, that brought the wrath of God on them in the beginning. 11. Now this is the copy of the letter the king of Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra, the priest, the scribe, even the scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord, and his statutes in Israel. And this is a copy of the letter. We have had several letters written here in the book of Ezra that was written to the kings, or written by the kings, these decrees. When it's written by the king, it's a decree, and when it's written to the king, it's a letter. Now this is a copy of the letter, or even this decree that the king Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra, the priest, the scribe, and the priest. He was one who stood before God. We found out through his genealogy all the way right back to Aaron. He was one who was separated out in the beginning to stand before God, do the priest office, the scribe, and to recount it, to record it, even the scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord, and to recount and keep these words of God, these commandments, that's which God gave you in the beginning, his statutes, his ordinances. 12. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, and so forth. Now, and this would be the letter which Artaxerxes, that one who stirs up to that which is bully, the king of kings. King of kings was that which, because he ruled many provinces, many kings was under him. The king of kings, we know that even though he may be king of kings, it's God who rules the kings. Unto Ezra the priest. Ezra was this one who was supported of God, this one who stood before God, this one who recounted the law of the God of heaven, and he is the God of all understanding, heaven and earth. See, he is heaven and earth, and so forth, even all things that exist. And now, 13, I make a decree that all they of the people of Israel, and their priests and the Levites in my realm, that are minded of their own free will to go up with you to Jerusalem, go. And he makes a decree, and this would be much like the one Cyrus made many years ago at this point, that said, now go up. See, we'll find that. Artaxerxes also makes this decree that all the people of Israel, and this is going to be like a second wave of the captivity going back, the priest, all the people of Israel, these are all those that contend with the Mighty One, those even all of the nation we talk about, and when we speak of Israel, anyone who was a remnant there of the 12 tribes, their priests, these ones that stood before God, and the Levites, those that joined, these were the ones that did the work of the house of God, that were in my realm. And the realm is a kingdom or a province of a king, and this, even that dominion God gave them to rule over, that are minded of their own free will to go with you to Jerusalem, to go. And this would be anybody that was of their own free will. Nobody was being forced to go to Jerusalem. That's that place of peaceful teachings. But all that went by their own free will, he allowed to go. 14. For as much as you are sent of the king and his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem, according to the law of your God, which is in your hand. Now, for as much as you are sent of the king, because the king was sending him, and his 7 counselors, and it would be to accomplish that which the king and his counselors was wanting to know, to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem, these of praisings and that place of peaceful teachings, according to the law of God, which is in your hand. And we'll find out that Ezra had the work of God in his hands. It was even in his works. And he was going to make inquiry now at Jerusalem. 15. And to carry the silver and gold, which the king and his counselors have freely offered unto the God of Israel, whose habitation is in Jerusalem. To carry, and we'll find out that when Ezra went back, he took as well with him this silver and gold, which the king's counselors and the king had offered unto the God of Israel, whose habitation was in Jerusalem. That habitation, that place to where he inhabits, that place of his abode, that place where he's put his name, that was in Jerusalem. That's a place of peaceful teachings. This silver and gold he would carry back. Silver is always that which had to pass through the fire and be purified. The gold belongs to God anyway, and we're going to find out it's another generation. 16. And all the silver and gold that you shall find in all the province of Babylon, with the free will offering of the people and of the priest, offering willingly for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. And all the silver and all the gold that you shall find in the province, and that would be that area described as Babylon, that is confusion, this that passed through the fire, and that which belongs to God, with the free will offering of the people, and anything the people wants to give willingly, freely, of the priest and of the priest, these that stood before God, offering willingly for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem, to give to the house of God now, that which is free will, of your own free will. 17. Therefore you shall with all diligence buy with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their meal offerings and with their drink offerings, and shalt offer them upon the altar of the house of your God, which is in Jerusalem. And with this money, with this silver and this gold and all this that the king and his counselors was given, with all diligence, and that is with haste, even with all your thought and mind, buy with this money, even this was then exchange, a way to weigh out and measure out the gold and silver in a way. Bullocks, the bullocks are these bull calves who are to be slain because they are not to be bred. They can get out and they cause damage, and that's what the bullocks are, these rams, these ones who have exalted themselves over the lesser cattle. That's the sheep. The rams are the ones with the horns, these twistings. Lambs, that's the sheep, those that are led easily. All of them with their meal offerings, and their meal offerings are these offerings, these things that make atonement even in the harvest, and their drink offerings. These drink offerings are these things they pour out before God, their understandings they have poured out before God of their own free will. We'll find out they have understanding in the law, and shalt offer them upon the altar. That's that place where it's slain, it's done away with. That's where it makes atonement, in the house of God, which is in Jerusalem, that place of peaceful teachings. 18. And whatsoever shall seem good to you and to your brethren to do with the rest of the silver and gold, that do you after the will of your God. And whatever is left over of that, a portion that would be left of this silver and this gold, that you do after the will of your God, whatever God requires and whatever God would do with it. These priests, the priests were given that authority over those things that come into the house of God, and the vessels, 19, that are given you for the service of the house of your God, deliver you before the God of Jerusalem. And these vessels, that's those things that contain these things that were given to you for the service. That's to do the service, this work of God, in the house of God, deliver to the house of God, and that would be in Jerusalem. that place where he put his name, that city of peaceful teachings, even in the beginning, God making an example there a long time. 20. And whatsoever more shall be needful for the house of your God, which you shall have occasion to bestow, bestow it out of the king's treasure house. And anything else, basically, is what he's saying that you need for the house of your God. We'll find out this decree would be just much like that one Cyrus had sent out. Cyrus was that great king of Persia. Cyrus means that possessor of the furnace, this ability to rule over judgment, and he showed mercy. And I, 21, and I, even I, Artaxerxes the king, do make a decree to all the treasures that are beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, shall require of you, it be done with all diligence. And we'll find out this was written by Artaxerxes that letter. This is that still in that copy of that letter that he gave to Ezra to accompany him on his return to Jerusalem. Artaxerxes, this one who stirred it up, was boiling, that even to cool it off. This decree he sent forth to all the treasurers, these ones who kept the goods beyond the river, that place of those waters that descend. That's what a river is, the water descending, and that is understanding. That whatsoever Ezra the priest, this one supported, we'll find out, God was supporting, the one who stood before God, the scribe of the law of God, that one who recounted this law of God of heaven. God give it in the beginning, that understanding that come from God. We'll find out it did not come from men. Shall require it. It would be done with diligence, because they was ordered to give whatever Ezra needed. See, up to 22, unto 100 talents of silver, and to 100 measures of wheat, and to 100 bats of wine, and to 100 bats of oil, and salt without prescribing how much. And we would see that they would be ordered to give unto Ezra even this 100 talents of silver. And judgment now is being weighed out in the silver, and this 100, that's judgment. These talents, that's what talents is the weight of judgment in the silver. And that's that thing. That's what had to pass through the fire to make atonement now. And to 100 measures of wheat. 100, once again, that's judgment. These measures, was the measuring out even of the wheat, that harvest. And to 100 baths of wine. 100, once again, that's judgment in these baths of wine. Bath is a liquid measure. Bath is a measure of wine. Bath is a liquid measure. A liquid measure means it comes with this understanding, and that understanding of wine is the effects of wine, even that which has the ability to make drunken, and to 100 baths of oil, and that is the judgment, once again, in this baths of oil, that liquid measure, that measurement of the understanding, even in the oil. That oil comes from the olive. That is the anointing. That is that law. And the salt is without prescribing how much. That salt. Salt is something that seasons. Salt is something that can make pure. Salt is something that can preserve. Salt is something that preserves. And this salt is without measure, without prescribing. 23. Whatsoever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it be done exactly for the house of the God of heaven. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? And whatsoever was commanded by God, the God of heaven, the God of all understanding. He's not only the God of heaven, but we'll find out he's the God of earth. He rules among the kings. The kings have no understanding that God is using them. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Well, he says, let it be done according to God. Exactly. See, exactly. that's how it was supposed to be done in the first place in the house of God. Why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? And we'll find out this would have been a good lesson to learn a long time ago. Because why should there be wrath against the realm of the king? And this realm of the king, even these dominions that God gives over to the king to rule over his people. See, because it's God that does these things. It's God's work. Even all these things that come from the king. 24. Also, we announce to you that touching any of the priests and Levites, the singers, porters, Nethinim, or servants of the house of God, it shall not be lawful to impose tribute, impost, or toll upon them. Also, we announce to you, we announce also, it should say this, it should be as well, be it made known to you, that concerning any of the priests, and these priests are those that stand before God, the Levites also include the singers, those that join. These are also would be the singers, and the porters. These would be those of sons of Asaph, the gatherer. These singers and porters, these that call to remembrance, the singers, the judgment of God in the beginning. The porters, those that keep the gates, that's in places of judgment where they go in and out. These Nethinim are these ones even that are given to serve. These ones who serve, we'll find out they was put there by Solomon. Solomon caused them to serve in the house of God. It shall not be lawful to impose a tribute, an impost, or a toll upon them. No form of tax shall be imposed upon them. 25. And you, Ezra, after the wisdom of your God that is in your hand, appoint magistrates and judges, who may judge all the people that are beyond the river, all such as know the laws of your God, and teach you him that knoweth them not. And Ezra, he was the one who supported, after the wisdom, and the wisdom is understanding. Wisdom and understanding comes from one place. It comes from the knowledge of the law of God. And in the beginning, God said, I give you the law. It is your knowledge. It is your wisdom. It is your understanding. And wisdom is the understanding of knowledge and how to use it. Wisdom is the ability to apply the law in your life. And this would be the wisdom of God that would be in your hand, even in your works. This We're talking about Ezra, though. He appointed these magistrates and these judges, and these are the ones who would oversee this, to oversee according to the law, that who may judge all the people that are beyond the river, and that they are set as judges over all the people that are beyond the river. And that's that place of understanding that descends. All such as know the law of your God, and teach you him that knoweth them not. And every one that knows the law of God, there would be no judge there. See, because they have understanding of the law of God. But now those that do not have the law of God, we'll find Ezra is commanded to teach them the law. Teach them the law, that they may know the law, because that is all the understanding and all the wisdom and all the knowledge there is, even that which he gave the king in the beginning, see, to rule over the people, to keep in a trust, we should say, the law of God. It judges the people, see, it judges the people. 26, and whosoever will not do the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed upon him with all diligence, whether it be unto death, or to banishments, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. And whosoever will not do the law of your God and the law of the king, we'll find out this decree that went forth, that let judgment be executed upon him. God has his own way of judging, and then men do as well. And this judgment, we'll find out of men, is they will put you to death or to banish you. And that's back then, that would be to force you out of a city. You wouldn't be allowed back in there, but you would be free to go somewhere else and cause trouble. Or to the confiscation of goods, that would be to take things from you, money, gold, silver. They could take your property, or to imprisonment, and that would be to lock you up and put you in a prison house. And these are the things that men can do. Of course, God has a different way of doing these things. 27. Blessed be the Lord, the God of our fathers, who hath put such thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. Blessed be the Lord, the God of our fathers. He is ever so merciful and ever so enduring in his mercy and his law. For he had put this thing in the king's heart, and it was to be to beautify the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. All these treasures, all these things that Artaxerxes was sending with Ezra. 28. And he hath extended mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty princes. And I was strengthened according to the hand of the Lord my God upon me. And I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me. And we'll find out God was extending mercy. It was more than just to Ezra, though. God was extending great mercy to the house of Israel, unto Judah. This second wave of captivity, we'll find out, coming back. This kindness the king and his counselors was showing to Ezra, even the king's princes, those ones that come forth from the king. He was strengthened according to the hand, even the work of God that was upon him then. And he gathered together out of Israel these chief men to go up with him. And we'll find out that's what they do. And Ezra is going to take these men, and that's where we're going to pick it up in the next chapter. Turn and return.